So you mentioned earlier too, kind of that active versus passive. Was that your mindset? You're like, hey, I want to hit a certain goal for, passive income. So then I can take some chips off the table. I can pay my car note and then kind of do something else. Or what was that mindset that you had when it comes to, those two categories?
My mindset was, it's funny you said that. My mindset was always to get to a number of passive income. So life is all about having options. I truly believe that options and having doing what you feel like. A lot of us can't do what we feel like doing because we constantly have to do what we have to do. Then I want to go to, this conference, but I can't because I'm stuck doing what I have to do, working, doing all this stuff. So once you have enough passive income coming in, you can then not stress about today money. You can focus on tomorrow money. So I wanted to set myself up to where I had enough income coming in, passively, where I can say, you know what, I can work on this move that might take 6 months, but make me $1 million. I'm working this might take 3 months, but make me this amount of money versus, oh, I got to make $1,000 now. I got to make $500 now. And that's what happens. A lot of people, they stress to make quick day-to-day money because they don't have money coming in consistently so they can focus on the bigger picture.
Yeah. And they're playing out of scarcity instead of abundance, I think is another thing and also, especially if you have clients, you now are not, you don't have to accept every client because you're not like, oh man,
Exactly.
their
Do what I
money.
feel
Like
like.
not all money is good money.
Exactly. No, I don't feel like, working with you. And that's fine. But when you kind of like stressed, like I got to take on every single person.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. So what does the portfolio look like now? Is it a mix, commercial, some residential?
Yeah, so we have commercial mixed use properties, we have residential single family properties, and then we have multifamily properties, and then I have a bunch of lots that I'm excited we're about to finally start building on. For the last couple of years, I've just been buying different lots. I'm gonna be honest, the only reason I haven't built on these lots before, I actually went and got permits and plans on 2 lots, and then it's kind of like, what do I want to say? I got permits and plans on 2 lots and kind of like didn't do anything with them. And the reason why I didn't do anything, kind of like a scared. Sometimes, I'll be honest, even us real estate investors, even us business owners, we get a little scared too. Like, hold up, I'm so used to doing rehabs and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, it's outside your comfort zone.
yeah, jumping into this new build. Sometimes we don't realize we push the things we should be doing to the side to focus on the stuff we're more comfortable with. So I let these permits and plans expire on these 2 lots and then a bunch of other lots that I had. And then I just finally said, you know what, this year I'm going to stop being scared. I'm going to go ahead and jump on this new build, new construction game. Because everyone I talk to that's in the new build at a higher level, they're like, yo, like what we do in my rehabs, I'll literally tear down everything but the front wall. Or I might tear down the front wall too, rebuild everything up. And they're like, yo, you're already doing new construction except the excavation and everything. They're like, you're already doing new builds. I will extend the house back some. So they're like, yo, you're already doing it. Just stop being scared. Stop bitching.
No, I hear you on that. So you started the development, or is that a project for 2025?
No, well, I'm about to start. Actually, the permit just got, I was able to pick up the permit last week. So I'm about to start.
Let's go. I'm excited to hear
I'm
about that,
gonna
man.
do about 2. I got a bunch of lots, but I'm gonna do like 2 at the time. Let that flow, and then I'm gonna just take it in from there. I'm not gonna
I love
develop on
it.
all the lots I have right now.
Got it. Let's switch topics. Let's talk about marketing. That's something that I think I mentioned to you. When we talk about marketing, you kind of have an expertise in this. People reach out all the time like, man, there's not too many people that have these gems in marketing. Like for you, I guess, what is something that you see over and over again where you're like, people are doing marketing wrong?
When it comes to marketing, people are doing marketing wrong in the way of marketing. I don't want to say marketing, but talking about what they want to talk about instead of actually talking about what people want to hear, what people want to know about. Even with me, like we do coaching, we help people, entrepreneurs get started in a real estate business, or help entrepreneurs get started in a real estate business. And what I realized, I started out only teaching people about wholesaling because I thought that's what people wanted to know about. And then I actually stopped for a moment and did a poll and actually asked, like, what exactly do y'all want to learn about? So many people said, hey, I love that you're teaching me about wholesaling, but I want to talk about the other stuff you do. Because I would teach about wholesaling, but then post me at Home Depot or post me my contractors fixing up this house. They're like, no, I want that. And I would ignore it all the time. Then I finally sat and listened. The poll was through the roof. People were like, yo, I want to learn about fixing and flipping or building rental properties and things like that. And that's what a lot of people fail to do. They're talking about what they feel like talking about instead of actually listening to the client, listening to the customer and seeing what they exactly want. So what I advise people when it comes to marketing, throw out a little poll on Instagram, throw out a poll to your community already, throw out a little poll on Facebook, whatever your audience is at, and figure out exactly what people want. So now when you structure your service or structure your offer or structure your product, it sounds like divine alignment because they're like, yo, how does he know what exactly I've been thinking about? Because I asked you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny because that even ties back to, some of the masterminds I've hosted in the past. Like the first one, I didn't have an onboarding questionnaire. So I just picked our own topics and everyone's like, all right, this is really cool, but there's so many other topics I want to talk about. And so,
Mhm.
yeah, poll your audience, know who your people are. It's so important. Social media, you have a pretty big brand there on Instagram. Is that the main platform that you use?
Yeah, we just started tapping into YouTube over the last couple of months, and it's going good. But Instagram is the main platform.
What kind of marketing, I guess, social media tips would you have with that? I've heard a lot of people saying, hey, you don't need to do talking head, more like document the journey no matter where you're at. Is that something that you've kind of decided to implement? And when did you start doing that?
Yo, it's so funny you say that because it's the truth. One of my friends told me this years ago, and I didn't start really listening to him until like a year later. He said more people are trying to get from 0 to 1 than they are trying to get from 8 to 10. So you may say, like, let's say, for example, you may be scared to promote your podcast or something like that because you're like, yo, I don't have 1 million subscribers. I'm not the biggest podcaster ever, so I'm not that big. Well, there are more people trying to hear about what you have going on because you're more relatable, you're closer to everyone versus the Kai or the whoever that's at that high level. Not to say you're not going to get there, but at this point, like for example, my friend told me when I first was trying to, talk about the real estate stuff, I was like, well, I don't have 200 houses yet. He was like, they're probably not relatable to that individual. And I was like, dang, I didn't think about it. So one, double back what you said, be yourself and explain your journey and talk about just be you. I tried at one point, I was trying to do marketing like someone else, and people could see through, like, that's not really. Then when I started just being me and just documenting my journey and explaining what I have going on, it worked a whole lot better. So one, I would say just be you. Two, identify who your audience is, the demographic, and the time. So one of the things that helped me build out my social media is I found out what my demographic was. How many more women follow you versus men, or vice versa? What are the age groups? What part of the city they're in? Not part of the city, what part of the world they're in? What part of the country they're in? Men versus women. Look what times are people getting on. Are they getting on 8 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock at night? So you can schedule your post that way. Understanding how people feel and test this stuff. What kind of feelings people have versus at those different times. So for example, if you have a product or service you want someone to opt into, it's better to try to get them to make those type of posts at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night versus 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It may be better to try to get people to opt into something at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning before they're starting their day and they're pretty kind of locked in. So what we would do is we would do something, maybe an opt-in something, or maybe some type of value content or something that they can digest and kind of start their day off in the morning. In the afternoon, maybe just something funny or something just to pick me up, just something to get the day going. And then, hey, I'm having this, or I'm selling this, or I'm offering this going into the later evening when people are sitting down, they can actually tap into that. Also, one of the things that we started doing is, I got this from my mentors a long time ago, infomercials thing. So basically, post some of your content that when you want people to opt into late at night, people are up on their phone, fully away, no distractions going on, so they can opt into those things like that. So that's something that you can scale. Like, okay, these are some social media things that, because it's one thing just document your journey. Of course, do, but how can I scale? Those are some little tips and tactics that you can utilize to kind of like scale what you're going to go ahead and do. And also like track things. And another thing is always have some type of call to action.